Daniel here, Dan Daly. Chronicles of an Age of Darkness, Chronicles Cosplay. Okay. Now, I live in Canberra, capital city of Australia. Population around 300,000, give or take a bit. I think a bit over, actually. And so a third of a million. And it's a big enough city as well. It's widespread. They call it the bush capital. But sort of in the city, in the sort of central regions a bit, I think where they have a sort of, it's called 100 Swords. I think it's 101 Swords, 100 Swords or something, which is a sort of like a chivalry, medieval sort of fighting society, where they get together, have the big Barney set up, fight it out with swords and shields and things, as sort of role-playing sort of stuff with swords and shields in one of the fields of Canberra, where one of the lawns and things, where they battle out and they kill each other. Not kill each other literally, but they battle out in the regalia of all that stuff. Now, for a serious enough adventures in life lifestyle, a Hugh Chronicles of an Age of Darkness Adventures in Life lifestyle, that sort of stuff to some degree is cosplay. Like in comics, it's costume play to some degree. It's fantasy costume play, cosplay. So that's sort of like probably to some degree associated with an activity centre, if such a thing came to be. Chronicles cosplay, should the thing develop and gradually get bigger, which, if you must know, people would know that I'm a Noahide, a current Noahide, I believe in God, and I've prayed a fair bit over the Chronicles of an Age of Darkness using Psalm 15 for its blessing. And my hope is that it will develop and catch on as a bit of a cultural thing in society, like Tolkien has to a degree and Harry Potter has. So my hoping is that this thing will sort of catch on a bit, and I think one of the things which is probably a good enough idea for a Chronicles of an Age of Darkness culture a bit is having costume plays and maybe things like medieval fairs and sort of Thousand Swords and stuff like that. So Chronicles cosplay, I think, is sort of, if this Chronicles Age of Darkness thing, which some of us are pushing a bit, gets going, sort of a valid enough thing which I think could probably be done. You'd imagine you'd represent sort of cultures from Argon and Perengarenga and Yestron and so forth, and you'd play roles as particular characters quite naturally, and original characters as well OCs, and sort of things like that which represent the culture of Oloma land, the world of Oloma land, sort of developing a cultural sort of idea with a cosplay sort of medieval fair thing associated with what Chronicles of an Age of Darkness is all about. It's a fan thing naturally. But when it comes right down to it, like Trekkies have their conventions and other comic things have their conventions and stuff, should it catch on and get popular enough, I think that's the kind of thing which cosplay and fairs and things is kind of things that Chronicles of an Age of Darkness people could perhaps slowly get into, I guess. Yeah.